In problem number 13 on the review, again we want to solve for x. This time x is in the exponent, and so in order for us to solve it we need to bring it down to the main level, and the way to do that is to switch it into logarithmic form. However, our expression, notice here, just has to be a base to an exponent, and there's some extra stuff going on here, so we've got to get rid of that extra stuff before we start. So in this case I have a 3 that's being multiplied, so I'm going to begin by dividing both sides by 3 before I try to change forms. So here the 3's will cancel out, and I'm going to be left with 2 to the x power. And on this side, I need to do 17 divided by 3. Now, most things in this class we have been leaving as fractions, and you can leave this as a fraction if you like. However, I said to go ahead and figure out what these log expressions are going to be to the 4th decimal, and so it's fine to just, at this point, go ahead and find a decimal value for things. It makes it a little bit easier to enter it on your calculator. All right, so now at this point, we have 2 to the x power is equal to 5.6667. And now I'm in the right form. And now to bring that x down to the main level, I'm going to switch it to log form. So as I go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab log. My base is 2, because that's the base there. I zigzag over here to get the 5.6667. And that's going to be equal to my exponent, which in this case is x. So it brings the x out of the power down to the main level, and in this case it even gets the x all by itself for us, so we're ready to solve. All we have to do at this point is actually go through and evaluate this log expression. Now, depending on what calculator you have, sometimes you can find log buttons and evaluations. Something like this log base, and I can put things in and it will allow me to evaluate expressions with different bases. This log button here assumes it's base 10 and nothing else. So in this case, if I want to find the log base 2 of 5.6667, I can go log, put the 2 in the base position, arrow over, put in 5.6667, and then hit enter and get my final answer here. So that's going to give me x equals 2.5025. And that will be my solution. Now, if you don't have a graphing calculator, you may not have any log functions other than just this log base 10. If that's the case that you're in, you can always use what we call the change of base formula. But what that does is it allows us to use log base 10 on our calculator. To find that, we can do log of 5.6667 with the base 10 button on the calculator, and then divide it by the log of the base that we have. So let's see how that gives you exactly the same answer here. So we're just going to type log of 5.6667. Make sure you close that parentheses before you do anything else, and then we want to divide that by the log of 2, and go ahead and close that parentheses. When we hit enter, notice we get exactly the same solution. So if you have a button and you can enter this complete with the other base, go for it. But if you can't, then just take the log of the number and then divide it by the log of the base in order to get your final solution for your problem.